Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Beauty Straight to Dominance, the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast. I am your host, Mike Larkin, and joining me for a round two, artist Tommy Bell. Let me add another name to that. Judge Tommy Bell from LFC 35 Booty Camp 3D. Tommy, what's going on?
All kinds is going on. I mean, my brain is still coming out of the spin cycle from Vegas. Yeah.
Well, dude, how awesome is it? Because we've been talking about meeting up and doing the LFC events, and here we are. We're on the same show together, ring announcer, judge, everything kind of aligned for All Hallows Eve.
It was great. I mean, Halloween is no mystery to the people that know me, especially outside of the LFC stuff, that Halloween is my favorite holiday. And I've been known in the history in the past to be invited to go to really just different locations, be pulled out of my own element and go party somewhere else for Halloween. And when this opportunity came along, I was just, let's go.
That's what it was. And it's one of those things too. Like, here's the thing. You and I'm going to call ourselves the sharp dressed men, because I'm going to say right now, the two of us sharply dressed. I had my suit and tie. You had your tie looking good, looking tight to death, fresh Tommy Bell. We really dressed up for the occasion.
I did. Well, I didn't want to, Vegas is, again, out of my element, literally. In my home, I literally live where Jason Voorhees kills people. It's a secluded lake and woods, so you take that person, you drop them into Vegas, which I've never been before. So Las Vegas is like Los Angeles, but yet with it's like Christmas vomited on it, so it was just an incredible. And Halloween in Vegas, mercy,
yes. Now I'm going to ask you, because I'm going to tell a story here, folks. I almost missed the show, and here's where it comes into fruition. So where I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, we had to go through Charlotte then to get to Vegas. So we fly out. My dad was with me. You'll see my dad. He's in the background. He's wearing the blue, button-down shirt. He's just chilling. So my dad and I, we fly from Myrtle Beach to Charlotte. Short flight. It's about an hour. So we're sitting in Charlotte. We're getting ready to get to Vegas. And what happens? Flight's canceled. But what happened was we booked the hotel, which is right across the airport. I got what I needed, which was like a couple miles from where we were. Hotel, very convenient. So woke my ass up. We left at 5:00 in the morning. Flight was around 7 or 8 o'clock. I didn't get to Vegas until Sunday, which was 11 or 12 p.m. Pacific time. My ass took a nap. My ass took a shower. And thankfully, somehow, we made it to the show. So I almost did not make the show on All Hallows Eve, but thank God everything aligned. And thankfully, I had my bag. I didn't lose my bag. So yeah, it was a hectic trip to get to Las Vegas, but at the end it was worth it because it was a damn good event.
Oh my God, dude. I think I would have had several heart attacks.
I'm like, here's the thing, because I have meds, and I'll say this right now, folks, epileptic, I take meds. It wasn't a problem to get meds because the CVS was right near the hotel. So I'm stacked on meds. So everything I got situated. Thankfully, they didn't lose my bag. As soon as my dad and I got off the plane, we went right into the baggage. It was right there. So everything was good. I had my suit because, dude, my suit was in there.
Oh, God.
And my shoes. So I'm like, oh, shit, if they lost my bag, I got no costume. So I'm like, shit. But everything worked out. And I know you had a nice little smooth flight, man. I saw you post on Instagram at the airport. How was your flight, Tommy?
My flights there and back, the trip was really nice. It was just, smooth landing, got to my hotel right away. And then I had some free time to, roam around, and I didn't venture too far in Vegas because, again, my time there was really short. But just, I remember soaking things in, and I needed a moment, especially that night before, of normalcy, because all of a sudden I'm out of my element. And I'm like, good Lord, what do I do? And I was sitting up in the hotel room, and I found something spooky to watch. And then I used the little notepads, the little note tablets, and I took their pen and I started sketching out little happy Halloween things and signing them and leaving them in little spots around the hotel room.
Okay, now you got the badass hotel. I'm going to say we stay at the Hampton Inn. My dad's got his points. Hampton Inn was very nice. It's 15 minutes from where the venue was at the FSW Arena. So it was nice and it was quaint and I was happy. You, on the other hand, got to stay at an amazing hotel. Talk about the hotel as well, man, because how far were you from the actual venue?
The car ride to the event from the lobby was a blur of, And I made the joke. I made the joke to our chauffeur, Michael. I says, geez, you guys got a lot of buildings. but I mean, the hotel, the Palace was like an incredible experience. And in fact, when I first got there, I don't know that I appreciated quite as much like what a fantastic place, just the main floor is just several casinos and restaurants and anything you could think about wanting, gift shops and all this kind of stuff is on that main floor. And I was up very, very, very high up in a really nice room. And it was just, what an experience. I will say, I think that room was haunted.
You're gonna be that guy. Why do you think it was haunted? Did you hear stories? Did you ask anybody down there? Or what do you think?
I didn't bring up any of that. No, because I mean it's Halloween too, and so I'm sitting there in Vegas going, they could use it as a selling point, or I mean whatever. But it was just, I don't want to get into it and over embellish, but it was just, there were a few weird things that happened in the undisclosed room that I was in that, I was like, well, it's Halloween. Why not have a ghost or two?
Right. I mean, we could turn this podcast from LFC to the freaking celebrity ghost stories, man. You haven't heard the noises of the paranormal experience.
All you need is a celebrity now. Like,
well, Tommy, the cool thing about it too is, so you get to the FSW arena, which I'm going to say is a very prominent arena for a lot of wrestling fans. Guys like Killer Cross, Eli Drake, who were in the WWE, now Karrion Kross is out of the WWE. Eli Drake's there in NXT. Chris Bay, who's in Impact Wrestling. So a lot of integral parts in professional wrestling that we see have come from that arena. So I got to ask you, being at the FSW arena, being in that event, what did you think of the overall arena in itself?
It was, I haven't been to many venues like that. So, and I'll be completely candid and honest. I'm really easy to impress. So, I mean, and for me, it was just wandering in there. There was an overload of images that are hitting you all at once when you get there, so we're shuttled from the hotel and we're going to this event, and even in the car ride over, I'm meeting people for the very first time that are part of this event, and they're very relaxed, and I'm trying to play Joe Cool after school, like, I don't know what's going on, and I feel like the fanboy who just snuck in the back gate, it's like, as soon as somebody notices me, I'm screwed. But I mean, and then we got in right away, and even entering, I'm looking at this place, but then standing in front of me are, all these familiar faces that are a part of now my unofficial LFC art gallery.
Which are awesome, Tommy, guys. If you've not checked out his work, not just right here in person on the Shizzo, but his Instagram, we'll talk about that. But yeah, Tommy, that's the cool part about it. I think you and this is where I group us together. I'm the podcast guy. I have the mic. I got the mic. You got the pencil. Let's put that on a t-shirt. I got the mic. You got
that's a good shirt.
Yes, it is. But at the same time, man, like, we're both integral parts of LFC that really have been shown to the forefront in regards to the product and the brand.
Yeah, and it's, and then literally less than a year, literally been less than a year, I went from fanboy, kind of going, I will draw something for you, which literally that original is literally right there.
Hell yeah.
It's right there. That's what's so cool about having the original stuff that I make. I look at the prints and stuff that people get and all that kind of stuff, and it's really cool to see. But to have that original, that's right there. It's awesome. But I went from, let me draw a few things for you, to what's behind me now, and some of this stuff is just LFC related. Drew Danica Della Rouge and Stephanie Ferreira and all that, and all these people. But it's all this big, huge family that it just continues to expand and grow. And no one's more stunned than me, that I actually literally was a judge at an LFC event.
Dude, and I gotta say, you all killed it. And first of all, you had two great fellow judges with you. You had the one and only Onyx, the former Bronco Billy on Wow Women of Wrestling. And for those who have seen her film work, she did a lot of work in Spider-Man with Bonesaw McGraw, Randy Macho Man Savage. And you had the former LFC champion, Andrea the Storm Vladoy. You had two good wing women on your side, man.
I couldn't have been, and I hadn't met them before this. Absolutely incredible ladies to meet, and Onyx came in first, and her personality marches about 5 steps in front of her when she comes in, and she was so cool. So she took me right underneath her wing and made me literally feel like I hadn't snuck in the back gate, and it was so incredible. And she was just so awesome to chat with. We had an opportunity to chat a little bit beforehand. Then Andrea came in and just absolutely the same way. And the three of us had a really interesting interaction between us during the entire event, even before the event, during the weigh-ins. We were all interacting, the three of us were interacting with each other on a level that most other people might not even be able to pick up on. We're not mic'd up, we're not talked about an awful lot. And there were some things going on at the judges table, which I will break into in a little bit, that people had no idea about except for me.
Okay, so I look at it from a stance too. Well, first and foremost, the best was probably when Audrey caked Leon for his birthday, which again, happy birthday, Leon, but Leon got caked right in the face. Bella Rockefeller doing her best Marilyn Monroe. And here's
wow.
First of all, great singer Marilyn Monroe, but the cake, man, I'm like, I'm going to stand off to the side because I'm like, I can't follow mass. We got to get this cake cleaned up. And Holly was pissed because she had to clean it up. It was a mess. So that's where the line came in of looks like Coach Leon Hader had his cake and literally ate it too.
Yeah, he totally did. It was more force fed, especially from my perspective. But when all that was going on, you've got 3 judges down at the table having a big discussion about how come we didn't get any of the cake. We had 3 upset judges sitting there, Onyx over here, I got Andre over here. And I'll tell you right now, me in the middle going, we need, you know what? No one's pampered the judges here. We want a little piece of the cake. And I even said, well, what if I just take my fingers and scoop a little bit this way, which neither one of them wanted anything to do with. I'm like, what happened to the 20-minute rule?
It's like, what is this like with the professor leaves? Like if it's not an X amount of minutes, you can just leave. What are you going to do that rule? Are you just going to modify it?
But so we didn't get any cake. There was candy being thrown out. We didn't get any Halloween candy. There's all kinds of, just saying.
You were not the only one. I was pissed. I'm like, that looked like a good cake. I wanted a piece. I know the broadcast guys, the announce team were pissed. Oh, we all wanted some cake, man. But then again, but still.
Audrey had other plans.
And I love Audrey, which by the way, that was a very sexy kind of elf outfit that she had on. Audrey looking good. Absolutely fabulous. My goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah. And she came over and introduced herself to me when I first got there. Just absolutely everybody, her and everybody else that I did have the guts to meet up with was just outstanding, just absolutely outstanding. It really made me feel again like I hadn't snuck in the back gate, like hey, come on in, let's do your thing. And I'm like, okay.
Oh man, but no, like every bout, I'm going to say this right now, every bout worked. Everybody worked hard. Every bout from top to bottom was just good, even the shorter bouts. But it's one of those things, man. Here's the cool thing about it, and this is where you come in. We had 2 unanimous decisions on one show with Lauren the Adventurous Ceccarelli, and the VP, Veronica Payne. Great bout. And I'm going to say right now, you guys unanimous on that one, but those 2 back and forth, either one could have won. But yeah, y'all just went with Lauren. You went with that adventuress, man.
And here's what I'll give you a little bit of, I guess I can say this. I'll give you a little bit of perspective behind the scenes, everybody. My scorecard on that one was ridiculously close. I can't say because I wasn't leaning over going, what did you get for number 2? But I wasn't looking at their scorecard, but for me, and I won't say how much, but for a majority of that match, it was leaning different than, but you know what? It was down to 1 point on my card. And it was a hard given point. So it's not that, oh my God, the 3 judges, it was unanimous. It was so much closer than that. I was surprised that my choice leveled out with theirs.
Well, that's the thing too, because first and foremost, Veronica Payne was not happy after that. She took the social media. She said she was robbed. She was robbed, man. She felt robbed by that decision of for the Lord of the Adventurous
Well,
Chacarella.
at least the cameras didn't like zoom in on me at that moment in time and go, the other judges have made now. What's your call? You know, like make me feel.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to that now because again, forefront. Everything was an experience. This is the experience. So the main event of LFC 35 Booty Camp in 3D was La Scorpia versus Volcana. Which, by the way, first and foremost, I know you saw it because you were looking. Volcana was like literally like checking me out before that. She was commenting on my suit, and I'm like, all right, Volcana. You know what I'm saying? You saw that shit too, man. She was like coming right up to me. I was like, all right, I can dig
That's
this.
what happens when you dress as sharp as you do, you know?
I'm just, here's my thing. Eyes and ears open. That's to anything in life. When you're learning something, eyes and ears open all the time, right? So I'm just looking straight. I'm ready. And then here she comes, and I'm like, all right, Volcana, you go with your badass self, you muy caliente luchadora. But no, it's one of those things where it's just like you have Volcana, you have La Scorpia. This is the first ever lucha lingerie. It's very, very historic in LFC history.
Right.
You and Andrea and Onyx, unanimous decision for this one. But what happens is La Scorpia is not La Scorpia, and La Scorpia is none other than Black team member Jenny Bloody Valentine, aka Jennifer Thomas, who no one knew was there. So it's this big thing, and yeah.
And here's the thing is it actually was not a unanimous decision. Oh. And that's what got very, that's what was no, it wasn't. I was the tiebreaker, and it all came down to that moment. There was a lot of confusion. I mean, for me, I was really focused on that match because I'd never seen that style of wrestling before, and I really kind of like that theatrics of wearing that mask and that kind of stuff. And it was super cool. So I'm in my own mindset, really focused in on this, and there's points being given, and again, it was, you know, very close on my card personally. It was very close, and then the end happens because I started watching. I'm like, they're not supposed to pull nobody's supposed to pull anybody's masks off, and that's a sacred thing, and you can't, Ray, you can't do that, and here it's happening, and I was like, you know what? There's no way they're going to be a reveal. Like they can't, because they can't do that. Well, then the mask is pulled off. There's Jenny Valentine standing there. I look over on one side, and that Onyx tells me what she thinks. Andrea tells me what she thinks.
You're in the middle. Literally.
They were not in agreement with each other. And I started, that was a moment where I really started going, oh shit, like now it's going to come down. I'm looking down at the scorecard of what I wrote, what I felt. And I look up, and there's Jenny leaning over the ropes. There's Holly leaning over the ropes. And there, everybody all of a sudden, it felt like, was staring at me going, all right, Mr. Judge, what is, and I, you know, and I had to stick with what I had on the card and go with that, going, nobody's really going to make a big deal about this.
Oh, well, I mean,
oh shit.
I mean, Volcana was not happy with the result. Jenny Bloody Valentine is the new booty camp champ with the chain. And Volcana was not happy because that was not the woman who trained her. That was not the La Scorpia that she knows. That was Jenny Bloody Valentine, who also the controversy. She's not even on the pink team. She's on black team. So we let her still kept the chain after that. And I'm going to say this right now. She was trying to do some Tommy James and the Shondellas on you, man. She was trying to give you that crystal blue persuasion. She was like, hey, Tommy, you draw me. She was trying to persuade you to get that vote, man. Literally, Tommy James and the Shondells, crystal blue persuasion, Tommy.
I caught on to that. And in that moment, I had a lot to think about. And honestly, what I did was I went with exactly what I was there to do, which was lay down a decision, no matter who was saying what or doing what, you know, because that was an important moment. And all the LFC fans, love me or hate me or whatever, for the decision that came down in the end. I did based on a lot of things that had nothing to do with who was behind the mask, you know, and I thought, for myself, I thought that was really important. You know, it just happened to go in Jenny's favor. with all the, and I didn't know what to think. She doesn't even have the right colored gloves on. What am I supposed to do?
Well, that's the thing too, because it's one of those things where, like you were talking about, the mask is sacred. You were talking about the history of lucha libre. This is a style that you're seeing the art form and just how really just it's so fluid. It's the fluidity of lucha libre because that's what it is. But here you are, the mask is unveiled. You're going with Jenny. Volcana is not happy, and so now we have the first accomplishment, the first accolade of one Jenny Bloody Valentine with the booty camp champ chain. I'm gonna say right now, it looks good on Jenny, but she's got a target on her back now.
She does. I don't want to think that I'm the one that gave it to her. I have thought several times about, gee, what if it would have been one vote the other way? But there was so much. That moment was wrapped in chaos in true LFC fashion. And I had to make a call, and I did what I did, and some people are smiling and some people are growling. I don't think Volcana's out to get me because I escaped narrowly. There was a lot of social media buzz, especially from the three Bellas pre-show about what was going to happen to me. And if anybody else, if you go back in some of your podcasts, you rotten bastard, I went from everything from being beat up to mollywop to having to wear a red wig. And when Bella Inc. came out for her fight, and suddenly, because I saw her come out, and then I had turned back to the judges' table and suddenly felt something on my head. She had taken her cowboy hat and put it on my head, but I had thought I had such a radar up. I thought, if there's a red wig on my head, I'm gonna shit.
I would not.
TV, I would have just had to do a bitch run or something. I don't even know. Bitch run on it there.
Man, if that was on your head, I would have just started a Tootsie chant if I would have saw that. Tootsie.
Bastard.
What? Okay. So first and foremost, yeah, the Bellas, again, the triple threat of Bellas, of Bella Inc., T. Bella Madison, Bella Rockefeller. We got to talk about Bella Inc. and Veronica Valentine here, because I'm going to say right now, as I'm standing in the ring, I felt bad for Paul. Referee Paul. Veronica Valentine was reading referee Paul Allen, the riot act. I'm like, Jesus, we didn't even start yet, and she's going after poor Paul.
She came in with a lot of fire, and it was very interesting. I mean, my experience with her is very, very minimal, but I'm at the show, and for me, the whole thing was just an experience. So, like I'm paying a lot of attention to what I always do, which is the entrances and how vibrant people are, and what kind of a character and performance they put on, and then everything that they do inside the ring. So her coming out was really, it was really a stunning moment. And the one thing that I noticed myself and didn't really say to anybody else is I said, she came out wearing a top hat. Bella Inc. came out wearing a top hat once too. I was like, I wonder if that's a dig. I don't know. Maybe it was unintentional, maybe it wasn't, but in my head, I mean, certain things register, and I'm like, because I think one of the things that's so cool about LFC is the rivalries that develop, and then they get a lot of fire behind them, like Bella and T Bella, but then you have Bella Inc., and what clearly, in my mind, looks like a rivalry on fire already, between these two. And I just, in my head, subliminally, I thought, I wonder if she's wearing a top hat, because Bella wore a top hat in one of her entrances several events back. Don't know if that was like a purpose steal or.
First of all, you just made a great continuity tie-in here. And here's where this comes in. So for those who have not seen Bella Inc.'s debut from LFC 26 back in Booty Camp, the original Booty Camp, that was her debut against Jolene Hex. In her outfit, she had the top hat. And so, I mean, from LFC 26 for her debut and Veronica's debut, we got the top hat. So early Bella Inc. came into fruition through Veronica Valentine's spirit.
Exactly. Either that, or like I said, I mean, maybe it was completely on purpose. Maybe it wasn't at all on purpose. It just is those little things like that as an artist, my eye looks at and goes, oh, and I make a lot of connections really quick, and then I just file them somewhere in the back of my bald head for later.
Okay. All right, we got to talk about this as well, because first and foremost, amazing bout with Bella Inc. and Veronica Valentine, but T. Bella Madison and Bella Rockefeller. First and foremost, Bella Rockefeller's entrance with the dude was on a leash. It was dominatrix style. I felt like I was watching Madonna's Human Nature video, and I'm not sorry. So it was one of those things where it tied in my pop culture brain and the dominatrix side of things, and it worked. It was one of the most unique entrances. You had the money going out there. Her and T Bella did their own song, and it made for such a pageantry.
Yeah, I mean, their entrances were completely ramped up by the fact that they did their own songs. Not to take away from anybody that didn't. That's not a requirement. It's just extra dressing on an entrance, and it doesn't always have to be a song. I mean, you had Shay with the sparks and
oh my goodness, Shay Lynn, lovely woman, sinister Shay Lynn with the firework. Nice.
If you want to talk about taking an entrance and making it electric, she literally did that. I mean, so every lady has got their own flavor. I have a big love for music anyway, so I really latched on to the fact that they had done songs, and I hadn't heard them beforehand, so I was really trying to listen to them amidst all the cheer. I was trying to hear the songs, as how they were, but they were really outstanding. And then their entrance, both of them and their entrances, their weigh-ins, and then obviously the bout. I mean, the whole running around the ring and stepping out for drinks and doing all, it was just absolutely crazy, which is what it's supposed to be. You got to have some crazy in there, and these ladies knew how to do it. I mean, I know there was both of them, it was their first time, so like me, a first time judge, but I don't have any pressure. I don't have to do anything. Well, I had a little pressure, but nothing like what these ladies trained for. And it was like they were all veterans, every single one of them. Veronica Valentine and the Bellas, they came out. And I mean, everybody really put on a hell of a show. And I can tell you because I literally sat right there and saw it. So if you didn't get a chance to sit there and see it, damn, did you miss out? Damn, did you miss out? Damn, did you miss out? But the air was electric, just.
Absolutely was. I mean, there was one thing that happened. So Lauren the Animal Polo did arrive late. So what happened was we had to push back with the MJ bout. So I got to say, for MJ's debut as well, and Lauren, who's an absolute veteran, who's an absolute beast, MJ, the Dominator Domino, I will say, was a quick one, but she did show some impressive strengths in that bout as well. I can't wait to see MJ back. She had a nice prowess to her.
Absolutely. I mean, she screams character. And again, not to get all artsy, but that's what the hell I do. It's when I look at certain people, especially, they have such a persona and such something. The first thing I think about is, I wonder how cool they would make a piece of artwork and what I could do around that. I mean, that's just what goes on in the back of my head. And she screamed it, like all she needs is a frame around her. Bam, work of art, hang it up. She's good. So I can't wait to see, what she's got coming up.
Same. It's one of those things too, man, where what also coincides is we have Sessions Wrestling, which is a lot of Jenny's talent and everybody that comes in LFC. It's one big unit. It's one big family, like we mentioned. I'm going to mention one of those big names and big families. The Prowess, how scared to death were you of Sheena, the Hungarian Hurricane Bathory, with those contacts? And that outfit was amazing, Tommy. That she's a presence, man. She has a prowess. That's a big woman. That's a beautiful woman.
All right, here's my apology to everybody on social media who was going, Tommy Bell's going to go to this event and he's going to get tons of these great photos. And it's going to be, because I do share on social media every single thing that I can, because I'm really proud of where I've been and what I've done and the people I've met. And in my head, I had thought about all these great photos and lined up all these people that I wanted to get photos with, Sheena being one of them. And I got in there and first person I meet, Mr. Mike Larkin, is you. And I said, well, I got to get a photo with Michael. And it was immediately nervous because all these people that I normally just draw are now standing within arm's reach of me. And we took one blurry photo and I broke away. And I was like, because I'm not really good with pictures. And I'm like, okay, I'll come back and we'll get one that people can actually look at. And then there's the president herself, Holly May, standing there. And I says, okay. And I was already nervous. And I'm like, well, I got to try and get a photo. So I hold my arm out and she's graciously like, okay, Tommy, let's get a photo. And I take a photo and she goes, it's blurry. I'm like, okay. She goes, just go ahead and take another one. I don't want my face to be blurry on social media. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm really getting nervous. So the second one is absolutely blurry. She's just looking at me. I said, okay, let me check it. One more. I try to take one more. It's even worse. By the time we get to the fourth or fifth one, she's just looking up at me. She's like, Tommy, stop shaking. Take the picture. So I took the last picture, is the one that I posted, and even it's blurry. And I thought in my own head, I'm like, I literally, it's Tommy Bell style. Here comes the train wreck. I won't get a photo from anybody. Thankfully, the judges, both of them, Onyx and Andrea, were kind enough to literally grab my phone and take some photos for me. Those are probably the clean ones that you see on Instagram. But Sheena was standing in front of me. And I thought to myself after the train wreck with Holly, if I've got any bravery left in me, I'm going to try to get a picture with her. And I was just about to tap her. And she turns around to look in my direction. And she wasn't looking at me, but I saw she had these contacts in. And she's kind of imposing in person anyway. And I'm just a little dude. So I absolutely, not only did I just freeze like every loser on planet Earth, but I tiptoed my goofy ass right around the side, didn't say a word to her. I'm like, I can't do it. And I thought, well, maybe later she'll have those contacts out, but she didn't. And with them in, you can't tell that she's looking at you. So it's just this evil stare, like this, and these balls of demon fire. So I was like, I'll just go over to the judge's table now.
Hey, you didn't take the brunt of the headlock. I will say this right now. If you've not taken a headlock by this woman or head scissors, we did not do the head scissors because I needed my neck to introduce her. So afterwards I said, here, just put me in the headlock. So she put me in the headlock, she squeezed, and I'm like, oh man. Here's the funny part. I know she wouldn't do this, but I know about combative sports. So I'm looking at my body position. I'm like, oh man, she's going to flip me and I'm about to get judo thrown right on the freaking concrete. That was where my mind was going because I'm like, I know she likes to be playful. I'm like, I'm about to get judo thrown right on the ground. And then no, thankfully, no, it was not that. It was just Headlock City. And we had the fun little photo that we did. Oh, sweetheart. Next time, take a photo with her, Tommy.
I promise. If there is a next time, the people that I absolutely sidestepped past because it was my own nerves, it wasn't. Everybody was very welcoming. I probably could have left there with 40 or 50 photos with all these ladies and all these people. I didn't. I lost my guts, which is typical Tommy Bell. You get there, you're right at the finish line, you go, So if there is another time somewhere down the road, I promise to be a little bit more brave and try and get some photos because, in hindsight, well, there's no proof I was there.
In the new year, man, if we do more Vegas shows and do more Sturgis, I said to you, Tommy, if we do Sturgis together, you have to get a bandana, get yourself your friggin' sunglasses, man. Harley Davidson, that bitch.
Oh, shit, dude.
Sturgis, South Dakota, Tommy Bell, right in the middle of friggin' bike heaven. Motorcycles all over the place, rock bands, man. It's a time.
It looks like an incredible time. I mean, I got to tell you, though, me and on any dangerous motor vehicle is pretty much not allowed. I've had some close calls with some vehicles where it's like, hey, this is my first time. Let me get on this thing and see what it does. And I love speed. So, but I'm not allowed. I've never been on a motorcycle and I'm not allowed to get on one now. But the Sturgis event looks amazing. And the LFC gang was very, very awesome to me at the last Sturgis event. And they sent me a whole bunch of appreciative things. And that was just fantastic because I couldn't be at that one. It was almost for a second, maybe a quarter of a second that I was going to be out there. But it just didn't work out that way. So, but the Halloween one came up and of course I just jumped at it because it was Halloween and it couldn't pass it up.
You couldn't. And I'll say this right now. And first of all, the nerves were in too, because for me, my stance, it's like I didn't get a lot of pictures I wanted either. But I was also like, again, we were talking about being in the zone and having our eyes and ears open. I look at it from a stance too, Tommy. Like, here's the thing. I got to thank Coach Remy as well, because Coach Remy was there and he was like, and I said to him, I said, look, and I told Leon this because Leon has trained a lot of these girls. Same with Remy coming up to the event. I go, guys, look, I've only been to the ring once, and that was as a fan for you getting an autograph from a professional wrestler, and they help you because we're all fans, right? So I'm like, I got to be in the ring multiple times. I would not like to fall on my ass and just face my in the ring. And you saw it. I'm like, yo, I need to know how to position myself in and out of the ring so I don't fall and it was good, and it worked, and it was cool. There were some times I tripped up, but that's the important thing that a lot of people don't realize, because you're going to be getting in the ring multiple times. So I mean, that's all the pressures, even with announcing. You have it with judging, and it counts, but it's show forth on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I didn't notice you slip up once. I mean, you did an outstanding job, dude. And for my part, I did spend about 10 minutes practicing learning how to sit, for the judges table. It's very important to know how to sit and sit properly when the camera's on. I don't want to look like I'm not sitting right. So I practiced that for
right.
What I did not. I had it easy.
I mean, first and foremost, camera shots are very important too. So yeah, but no, I mean, it's the thing too. A lot of people don't realize the production and the presentation that goes into this, and you have to be the cues, and you got the script. We have. All right, here's the funny thing I love about AJ Kirsch, because AJ Kirsch, the main LFC ring announcer, he'll have paper cards. I just had the paper. It works though. It works to our advantage to how we have to sound and how we have to look and how we present and enunciate what we're gonna do. And that was the thing, man. We have to hype this up. This is the event. We got people watching us at home. People paid $20 for us, Tommy. People paid $20 for the LFC to see Judge Tommy Bell, announcer Mike Larkin, to see the LFC ladies, the LFC presentation. So people who were paying the $19.95 online who couldn't be in attendance, we thank you. We thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if anything that I can do to provide that behind the scenes perspective is fantastic too, because I never thought I'd be able to do that, to be honest. I mean, I do the artwork stuff and all this kind of stuff because I support their entertainment, their company, what they do. That's my way as an artist or anybody in it to be able to support back. I'm like, well, this is my special gift back, and it then generates hopefully to the fans that are getting a kick out of it. And I've got a lot of artwork ideas for the LFC planned. It's just, as you can see behind me, getting them on that paper, if I need time to get everything on that paper, is a challenge. But to all the fans that watched it, I hope they get the electricity off of watching it, that it was like being there. Because I know, like, I'll never forget that. Even if it never happens again, I'll always remember sitting there at that judges table, how everybody was, what the show was like, and how nervous I was.
Hey man, we were all nervous, but that's what makes us want to do better and entertain more. So I think it was a success, LFC 35 Booty Camp 3D. And now, Tommy Bell, I got to say this to you. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to meet your lovely wife, Miss Amanda, because she was not in attendance. But did your wife enjoy LFC 35 Booty Camp 3D? I believe she was watching live, or did she get a catch up on the event?
No, of course, no. She was watching live here at home, which was later here on the East Coast than it was there. But she stayed up, on a Sunday night. She had to work the next morning and stuff, but she stayed up and watched it. And we were texting. That once I got dropped off at the hotel, she's the first person I had a video chat with, and we had a good laugh about it. And she was very entertained. And then she told me, it made me nervous because I wasn't able to watch the event. She's like, you were on camera a lot more than you said you were going to be. I'm like, I was?
You're worried. They went right to you after Audrey got Leon in the cake while they were cleaning up. You were on camera. The photos, man. Getty Images did an amazing job. So did the man, Richard Emberley, Regard Photography, the LFC Photography. You're on there a lot. We see a lot of the Tommy Bell in the background, just chilling, making a scorecard, doodling, doing you.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because did you know, and here's a little bombshell for you. So in between the little breaks that there were, and there were a few moments here and there between some of the matches, especially when they were doing the cake cleanup and stuff, where it looks like I'm literally a scientist who's solving world problems on this piece of paper. And Onyx would point over, and then Andrea would point over, and there were comments and stuff. In between the scorecard blocks on this paper, I was doing sketches. And then signing them and stuff, just like I did in the hotel room, a way of planting these little things that in my head, which is kind of diabolical, I suppose, as Angelica Coe would put it, but hoping these things would get thrown out, or if somebody saved one, then it's this really rare little thing that's out of place. It's like, oh, he wasn't publicly drawing and going, yeah, I want to sit down and do a drawing for you here and make a big thing out of it. It was, so Andrea happened to look over, and because there was nothing to score, and I'm writing on this paper, and she kind of leans over and she's like, "Oh, look what you." And Anna looked over. She's like, "What are you drawing there?" I'm like, "Oh well, it's booty camp, so I'm drawing some booty camp stuff."
First and foremost, you know the movie Big with Tom Hanks, where he makes a wish on the on the altar. He's on the machine. Wish gets granted. He turns 35. You are literally a 10-year-old stuck in a 50-man's body. You are a child, Tommy Boy. I saw those drawings too. You are a child. You are a young man who is going into puberty, preteen, stuck in a man's body. That is you.
Can't help it. It's not my fault. It's I will say my body is aging though. Like to kick out these drawings, I do one drawing a week, and it literally takes me 7 days to do one. So literally the day I'm finishing one, I'm actually starting one, and that's been going on for like a year. And I have noticed that like my drawing hand will like cramp up, So I do want to say this: Holly Mae and her True Relief gang, this is the real deal. Michael is not old enough to have pain problems, but if you're an old man like me with his old man sweater and his gray beard, you might need something like that. Or these ladies that get the hell beat out of them. Like I'm telling you, that stuff, True Relief, this is the real deal. I'm not turning this into a commercial, I promise. I swear to God, that helps me kick out all these drawings. Am I 10 years old? Yeah, I mean, that's actually my motto. I tell a lot of people, and so does my wife, that I'm literally an 8-year-old who's just right there at that peak of being on fire, and I can't help it. And so you take that mentality and you bravely drop them into an LFC event.
Agreed, man. And first and foremost, I know I'm not up to that age yet where I'm going to be using that, but if I ever need to use that,
there you go, right for you, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Holly Mae. I got you, girl. That's my girl too. So yeah, absolutely. Now, but here's the thing too about Holly, woman of many hats, from just producing and from judging and being the on-screen LFC press. She is one of the people that does not get enough credit like she does. And there is the drawing. There you go, Tommy.
It's original. Look at that.
It is. Cheap plug, man. You got to plug the drawings. You got to plug the art. You art. But no, that's the thing too. That's what's great about all these LFC ladies. They wear so many hats, and they're just so influential in what makes the product great. And now, speaking of making the product great with your drawings, man, I have seen the one you mentioned, a beautiful woman, and Angela Coe, the Italian knockout, who will be making her LFC debut, hopefully in 2022. He's got the photo up. There it is, the one and only Miss Angelica Coe, the Italian knockout. Beauty, and amazing photo, Tommy. Like, she's going to be really, really good. I can't wait to see her make her debut.
Now, were you aware of the social media issues with me and her?
I don't believe so. What was
and Stephanie Ferreira?
Okay, go ahead. We'll talk about the drawings. Go ahead.
Okay, so just real quick, what I don't do this on the LFC drawings. I don't do two things to keep the LFC drawings different. I never put the date on there because I want them to be timeless. And the other thing that I do with my own, like this is for my knockout series, I will hide the model's initials somewhere in the drawing. They're hidden, and they got to try to find them. So poor Angelica spent over 2 months. This is not new. I did this like 2 months ago. Spent 2 months trying to find her initials. And I, of course, wouldn't tell her exactly where they were. I'd give her a few hints, but I wouldn't tell her where they were. So then I was doing a live drawing. Actually as Stephanie Ferreira, your buddy. Angelica was on there. The two of them blended together and ganged up on me, and Stephanie helped Angelica find her initials.
Nice.
So I hit Stephanie's even harder when I did hers. I'm like, okay, you want some of this? Okay, I got you. But yeah, it's everybody related to the LFC is amazing to work with and draw, whether it's in my fantasy stuff, my knockout series, which showcases female fighters from all kinds of different arenas, like Danica Della Rouge,
the former LFC champ, DDR. And first and foremost, that was a tough break for her because she did wind up with an injury and she had to vacate the LFC title. But I got to say, first and foremost, man, Shay won it. Now Jolene, our girl Jolene, the Valkyrie X, she's the champ, LFC champ and LFC European champ. Nuts, but it's awesome.
Jolene.
Jolene.
She is one of my top drawn models, just by accident. I featured her several times in the LFC pieces, and then she had a few fantasy pieces even before that. So, and she's actually in a drawing that I'm doing right now. So she's all over my portfolio, but she's all over the LFC belts.
She is all over
Every time they come up with a new belt, she needs to have it.
Well, the only thing she needs now is the booty camp champ chain, and then she'll be rocking.
Yeah, well, I don't.
I don't know, man. But it's gonna be good. If we get a Jolene Jenny bout, I am happy. Whatever bouts we get in the future, I am happy. And like you mentioned, Stephanie Ferreira, man. Stephanie is a beautiful woman doing her thing, modeling wise, so supportive of the product, an amazing fan. And I said this to Steph because unfortunately she was not able to be there. Steph, we got to get you as a judge. You can judge with Tommy Bell. You both can be, your crazy selves together. It's a nice mix. You two will get along because you're both are like children in a way. You more. But I mean, I love you, Steph.
We won't get along at all. No, it's not gonna.
But no, it'll be fun time because you both have like the same sense of humor, and it's awesome.
There won't be any judging getting done, though. I mean, like
judging, but yeah, you have to judge, man. You first and foremost, I'm going to say this right now: your facial expression, because it shows in every bout. Your facial expression at the end of that main event. I'm going to say right now, when Jenny was pulling her crystal blue persuasion, like I mentioned at the top of the show, you had that face. It was very bashful, and for a moment, I thought I went from LFC to Lady in the Tramp. All I needed you to do was have the spaghetti. You look like you two were about to manja on like a date, man. I was feeling Lady in the Tramp vibes there, man. You getting all bashful, you know what I'm saying? Your heart 10 times the size, Tommy Bell.
That's the biggest problem is I have the perfect face for radio because I can't hide. I have no poker face. I have no poker face. And I actually thought about that for a minute, before the event. I'm like, man, when all this stuff starts happening, which it did like immediately, and all the entrances and everything, I mean, I'm like, how am I supposed to try and, like, this is cool.
Like, this is cool. Yeah. Like, I'm just here. I'm doing my job. But no, I have my moments too. Everybody's going to have their moments. And I much more than me.
I should have just sat like this all day at time.
Yep. just hide the emotion. But no, you can't. And I mean, for instance, first and foremost, you got the ring girls coming around who are the Bjorn girls were absolutely amazing. You have Jackie Mack. This was her second LFC appearance because she sang the national anthem at LFC 31. Right. Jackie Mack did an amazing job once more with the national anthem.
God, that was outstanding. I mean, I almost got a little tear in my eye from that. I mean, that was just an outstanding rendition of that. She's absolutely talented, and it was really great to be able to hear her sing that in person, as well. I mean, it just super talented,
man. And I gotta say, first and foremost, there's a lot of people who you will see that we saw in LFC obviously come back. I hope to see them come back. Jojo the Hammer Hamner. It's funny because my dad was telling me this. There was a couple people in the crowd who thought I said hammer twice. Jojo the Hammer Hammer. And I'm like, no, people, it's the Hammer Hamner. Just take out the M and put an N. Hamner. Which I'm gonna say that 5 times fast. But Jojo did her thing against Terry. It was great to see Jojo make her debut.
I can't say that one slow. What I would do is find a way to emphasize the second syllable of Hamner, so it's like Hamners.
It's like that scene in Step Brothers when they're going for the job. Are you saying Pan? Pam.
Right. Exactly. No, I mean JoJo again coming out. There's so much that's a blur, and then there's so much that's like as soon as I start to focus, it's like, my God, that really happened, and I was really there. Like, she put on an amazing show, and I got to talk to her just briefly before my nerves failed me. I got a chance to talk to her and a few of the other ladies before the event went live, and just an amazing lady, and come out and give it her all. And the entrances, her entrance was, again, it was just eye-catching, and maybe I over analyze entrances to a certain point, but for me, that's a bigger part of the show than other people might care about. But it's the same thing with the weigh-ins. I am more a fan of the weigh-ins almost than I am of anything else, and the reason for that is that it gets you going. And when the ladies start shoving and getting into it with each other pre-fight. It's the same thing as all the social media banter that we've talked about between T Bella and Bella Rockefeller. That stuff, whether it might be additional work to put on or additional performances to do, that fires up so many LFC fans. And if it doesn't, it just absolutely fires me up. So that's why you need to do more of that.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't get a chance to do weigh-ins for 32, 33, and 34 in Sturgis. 31, yes. 35, this one we did. I got to say, doing the weigh-ins was fun. Just, again, like you mentioned, a lot of people don't realize the importance and the significance of that. I'm like, this is supposed to hype you up. And if it doesn't hype you up, then I don't know what to tell you. But it's one of those things where the entrances, the weigh-ins, it makes it feel like a big fight feel. And that's what you do with anything in a combative nature of sports. So it all fell into fruition. And then we started the event and we all were ready to go, man. I'm going to put it like that. We were ready to go and the lights were on all of us. And if you have not checked it out, it's lingerifc.com, LFC 35 Booty Camp 3D. Watch the bashful face of Tommy Bell as he has to make that important decision. Should I stay or should I go? Or who's going to be the winner? Should I stay or should I go?
There's no bashful face. There's no. It's just, I was calculating. I had world problems to solve right then and there, Michael.
No problems to solve.
It's not a bashful face. It was a face of concentration and emotion and energy. And did I say concentration?
Concentration, yes. Concentration. For research purposes only. That's what it is. The concentration was for research purposes only. I swear.
I mean, my facial expressions had to start as soon as the weigh-in started, and several of them, like Bella Inc. and Veronica's weigh-in, was because they got into it. And then you had Bella and T Bella, and they got into it. And those are the ones that I'm just, because you find yourself like, make that match first. And then of course for me, I sit down at the judges table and I looked at the first match and I'm like, okay, wait, never mind. Let's we got Sheena and Shay first. I need to see that. So even though I was too scared to go up to either one of them and go, hey, how are you?
We did see Shay before the event. We did see Shay. She came up to both of us. Shay was looking mighty fine before even the event. Shay was an absolute.
But I didn't have the guts to say anything to her. I was in the middle of swallowing my tongue.
You were just like, hey, and I was just like, oh, hey, Shay, what's up?
Because I didn't, it's there. If you're gonna have Tommy Bell, there's got to be a train wreck somewhere. And since it wasn't in the script, I decided to just take my own train wreck through the whole thing by avoiding any real interaction, and of course no blurry pictures, because God have mercy. I mean, after the event, I was like, hey, Michael, let's go and get a photo with Bella Inc. And you had my phone and you snapped a couple pictures, and I'm like, hey, those are fine. And Bella Inc. is like, no, I don't like that one. Wait, no, I don't like that one. And my heart starts fucking pounding all over again. I'm like, something with me in pictures, man. It's not.
Well, as far as the train wreck goes, I'm going to say this right now. When it comes to you and your heart beating so fast, I will say this. It's fine just to say, hey, when the nerves kick in, but at the same time, you're kind of like when you were saying it's not in the script, well, you're kind of like that guy Dave that was on that episode of the Wayans Brothers. That's not in the script. And then you just, that's what you did. That's not in the script.
I didn't have one. I literally got no, I mean, not that there is one, but as far as like what to expect, everything was just, one step at a time. And if you're me, you just know that it's not going to be this graceful, like walking in like George Clooney in Ocean's 11 and everything's going to be smooth as glass because Joe Cool after school hanging by the water fountain playing it cool. That ain't it. It don't work that way in Tommy Bell land. I'm just really glad that I escaped several, bullets by not having to put on a red wig. I didn't have to change my last name to Bella. It's still Tommy Bell. I'm very fortunate that I escaped unscathed.
Well, I will say this, as far as fighters come, I did see your photos with Sylvia, and I hope to see Sylvia in the LFC. I know Sylvia was watching live. What did Sylvia have to say? Check out Sylvia. I'll put the link in her description below this interview. But god dang, man, beautiful girl. Hope to see her in LFC. You did an amazing drawing of her. That's still in the progress.
There's and just talking about that for a second, which is so strange, and I don't know why, but it is. I went from being confused about it to being like, this is okay. not just Sylvia, but a lot of different models will contact me through messages on social media asking about the LFC and asking my thoughts on it and expressing an interest in wanting to join up. And I've had several laughs through emails with Sean about that. And I said, I don't know. I mean, because there's very attainable links to be able to contact them yourself and just get the ball rolling. But they just the other day, I had some lady, I don't remember offhand what her name is, ask me several questions about. She hasn't said, "Hey, I'm really interested," but just going around, "Hey, do you draw?" It's always, "Do you work for the LFC?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not on staff, but and then from there it goes into information and blah blah blah. And then I've provided several different bridges, and then I step back. So I used to be confused about that, but now I almost kind of readily accept that. Like, if you're interested in the LFC and you need to approach me first to make that bridge, I'll more than happily make that connection for you, then step aside.
And that's the thing that we do. We make the connections. If you're in the LFC, go talk to me and then go to Sean. Or if you're them, you'll talk to me and then we'll go to Sean, we'll go to Van. We're very accessible with how we do this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to attain LFC, and I've always said this, I think you can agree with me, and you're serious, have fun, you want an entertaining time, do it. But if you just have the mindset of it's women rolling around in lingerie, don't do this, because there's a lot of work that goes into this. A lot of people don't even realize.
Exactly. And that's why watching the events is really important. And I stress that a lot. Just here I am doing all this extra promo work for the LFC. But I will be very thorough with whoever person, whether it's Sylvia, which would be great to see her in there. She expressed a lot of interest in it. But and any of these other ladies, I try to give as much upfront information as I can. And then I always say, here's the contact people, and they're always so fantastic to me. They're just very professional, really great people to work with. And then I just kind of make the hookup, and then I step to the side. I'll let the professionals do it, because it is a little bit perplexing why they would come to an artist first as opposed to, I don't know.
Hey, the main thing is that people get involved with LFC, and I'm going to say this right now: lingerifc.com, LFC 35, Booty Camp 30. Check out the event, check out all the content, and check out the Roku for this show, for the upcoming show Get Wet with Terry Feisty Fist London and Audrey the Mongoose Monique.
Greatest title ever.
Right? And just check out Tommy Bell's work. And I'm going to say this before we do close out, and Tommy, we'll do another round of these, but one of the things that really meant a lot to me, and I want to tell you this on the show personally from friend to friend, man, you came up to me, we shook hands, we took a photo, we shoot the breeze, much like we're doing here today. And one of the things that stood out to me was that you're like, it's an honor to shake your hand. I'm going to tell you something, as someone who's so humble, because I'm nothing from nobody, man. I'm just a dude that loves what he does. That really meant the world to me, and I want to thank you for that.
You're very welcome. And I mean that. And when I do a lot of posts or responses on social media, it can come across as very copy and paste until I get a chance to actually talk to you person to person, even outside of the monitors. And then people are like, well, he actually talks that way. And I talk that way because I feel that way. And you're on the same platform that I am. You're as high up as I am, or as low down as I am, wherever we are in the scale of those things. I know we both felt incredibly honored and privileged to be a part of this LFC event. I still scratch my head going, why did they let me in there? But at the same time, it's just been such an elevating experience. I know you feel the same way. But even meeting you, it's an honor to shake your hand in person, so that it's not just a relationship that's done over the social media, over a computer monitor or something like that. And there's a ton of people that I had the chance to break that ice with, and I delicately tiptoed past that. But if there's more opportunities, I'm going to take it up on it. And a lot of other people that I just would love to meet face to face and love this. We need to do another. Could you imagine me, you, and Stephanie under the same roof for the LFC event?
We got to do a group photo, man, and I think it'll be a fun time for all three of us, just because we're fun, we're entertaining, and we're goofballs at the end of the day. You guys saw my serious side on there because I was but I'm a goofball at heart. And we had a lot of fun, and it's going to be very fun to do more events and just more of these podcasts with you. So
you played up the serious side a little too much. I was like, come on, Michael, you gotta be you.
But still, at the same time, it was a fun event. But yo, before we close this out, please promote the social media where everybody can check out your amazing artwork, Mr. Tommy Bell.
Well, my social media is rather thin because let's face it, so is my hairline. And to be in social media, you got to be a certain age. And once you start pushing, especially if you're a dude and you've got like a gray beard going on, which I want you to check when you watch this, make sure you double check your camera, because the LFC cameras, while everything else looked really good, they made my beard look gray. So I was like, I was going to email somebody and be like, what's wrong with your cameras? But it is what it is. I'm not going to bitch too much. Social media is as thin as my hairline. So what I got is I got Instagram, and I'm just Tommy Bell Art on there. And I've got Facebook, which is just Tommy Bell on there. The interesting thing is that Facebook is a little thinner on the art stuff. I try to keep the content kind of the same, but Instagram kind of gets a bit more in detail with the art, and family, if you're curious enough, goes a little bit more behind the scenes of other stuff. So, but I'm on both of those, and you can check out all that stuff. And this is just a taste. This is literally just the LFC gallery of stuff behind me. Just a few glimpses of some of the stuff. And there's so much, and it's all, you can see all of it on the social media stuff. And I've got so much more to come, including hopefully a special, because I put a title to everything, a special LFC holiday piece for those of us who are getting ready to get the festive Christmas spirit, called Deck the Halls. So
I cannot wait for this. And Tommy, I can't wait till you do the drawing of me. That's going to be in the future. Dude, I can't wait to see your ideas. I can't wait to see your work. But you forgot one thing, man. You got to promote the TikTok. I know you don't know what the hell you're doing yet, but promote the TikTok.
Oh my God. I'm going to get so much harassment over this. I've got a TikTok channel that was set up by somebody who's younger and much more tech savvy than me. There's nothing on this TikTok. I do have plans to actually start doing some drawings on it, which there won't be any dancing. So don't be looking for me in the red wig doing the Bella dance. It ain't going to happen on no TikTok. It's not going to happen nowhere else, because nobody, including me, wants to see that. But at some point, I will get off my dead ass and I will do something with the TikTok, which will at least be art related or at least be stupid related. I've done some Instagram live drawing shows which have gone over remarkably well, which I didn't think would be entertaining at all. And just to give everybody a little hint, there's a distinct danger that you will see me pop up on your screens in other venues and things very soon. And that's all I want to say about that, because everything's up in the air. But there's a lot more talk about having my face in front of cameras than I ever thought possible. So who knows?
I will say this about you, Mr. Tommy Bell. Check out Women of Art as well. Women on Fire. My goodness gracious, on Twitter, because Tommy's doing a lot of great work for them. And it's going to be amazing just to see what comes up in the future for you. So every link that Tommy's art is going to be affiliated with will be in the description below, so everybody can check out the fine products and the brand that is Tommy Bell Art. Now, Tommy Bell, before I close this out, now you practiced this and you did this at the show. What do I usually say at the end of the show, man?
Here we go. Beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. My name is Tommy Bell. I've been chilling with Mr. Mike Larkin, the official LFC podcast host. This has been a dynamite show. I'm practicing to take over the LFC podcast episode the next time we do one. I will be the host interviewing Mike Larkin.
I like your style. So for Tommy Bell, my name is Michael Larkin. Thank you guys for listening to another edition of the LFC podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.